Culture Yearbook. On this show, we pick pieces of pop culture that were important to us in a given year. We then discuss our memories and dig into those movies, albums, shows, and more. I'm Brad.
And I'm Giff.
I almost forgot to say my name there. I got lost.
Nobody would know who was on.
No. Right. So what are we doing tonight, Gifford?
We are opening the yearbook to 2010 this year.
So we closed out 94. We did 84, 94. We could have done 2004 next, but we've already done that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we went with a year we haven't done yet, which is 2010.
Yeah.
Which is 16 years ago.
Yes, if you're born this year, you're able to drive. In this year.
That's crazy.
That nuts? Yeah.
New drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a tricky one. This is a great year for movies.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is one of the best years of movies I've made a list for in a long time. Like, I'd say this is a better year of movies than 94 was overall.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, 94, it's a great top end.
Yep.
But as far as depth, this one, man, is really good.
There's
of fun
a lot
movies.
of good stuff. I'm not going to argue that, but I don't know if I'd put it ahead of 94.
TV's still great, too. Music is going to be interesting tonight to see where we go there.
I found some fun stuff this year.
Okay,
I did. Having young kids, they're keeping me, in the loop with, newer stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and I'm hoping I get one song in particular for.
Well, I don't think you and me are going to have hardly any overlap. So
no, I doubt it. I think there's two songs that we might overlap on.
But there could be some overlap because we have a guest tonight. So with Pete out of commission at the time being, we like to have a third person on to do our drafts for sure. And so we asked one of our great supporters. We counted. We think this is time number 8 on the show tonight. Brian Rappy is back. Welcome back, Brian Rappy.
Fantastic. It's great to be here for my Ocho appearance and looking forward to it. I was doing the research of 2010 and it was music was a surprisingly tough year. So
yeah. And I usually, for me, it's not usually that tough because I like so much weird stuff, so I can take the popular stuff and the other stuff. But like I have 11 things listed total, and usually that's it. But that's also because so unless you guys really surprise me with your picks, I could really be screwed.
Well, I only have 10, so my fingers are crossed too. So.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to, I think your guys' taste is quite a bit different. I'm going to be more on the popular side of things as usual.
And we're probably all kind of have our own space where we were at that time and have our own picks and our own lists. So,
yeah. Okay.
So since it's a new year and we're opening the yearbook, we are going to ask our guest first. Where were you in 2010? What do you remember about this year?
So this was a lot of fun research. I really appreciate it. I went back and tried to look at my Facebook feed, and that was just too difficult to get back that far. So I gave up on that. But then I just opened my camera app, my Google, wherever I store all my pictures, and just searched 2010 and looked at all the pictures from there. And it just brought back a rush of memories. So I was probably 39, 40 years old at that time. And I got my first tattoo that year. So
really?
And that was a long-term addictive process where I'm always ready for the next tattoo. So,
yeah, that really surprises me. I would have thought you would have had them long before that.
Yeah. No, this one I was very mindful and also knew what I wanted cost money, so I wasn't going to cheap out. So,
do you want to share what it was, or would you?
Yeah. So my first one, I don't know. Like it's kind of it's a 16-year-old tattoo now, but it is I had it designed. It looks like a VSG Ashton cigar band. If there's any cigar smokers out there, so I have that pageantry on it.
You probably know about that.
Yeah, but then I at the bottom I have all the suits. And then in the middle, I just put a king from, I picked the King of Diamonds, has nothing to do with the local strip club. It was just the coolest profile of king, the deck of cards that I picked from.
And so you designed this yourself?
Yeah, me and the tattoo artist. I gave the idea and did my scratchings, and then he improved it greatly. So
cool.
And Jay, if you're out there and listening, I know you've kind of gone underground and I'm not sure where you're at, but I'd love to contact you again if you are listening.
Well, we have wide reach. You never know.
I know.
We do get to the underground once in a while. So,
the other thing is like looking at the pictures is, we did a lot of gambling that year. We had a World Cup for soccer going on, and everybody that joined was just assigned a country, and we'd first do bottle bets. So like I remember I was Portugal, and I was versus somebody from North Korea that had North Korea. So they had a bottle of soju, and I had a bottle of port, and whoever won the game won the bottle bet. And then we go on with different bets from there. We eventually, once the bottle bets kind of ran out, we went to the mustache bet. And that was if your team lost, you had to put a mustache on your pointer finger. And then anytime you talk to anybody, you had to put the mustache up and use it. So there's a lot of pictures with people with mustaches. And then the big thing for me was that summer, me and a couple friends did a 2-week road trip out to Las Vegas.
Nice.
So it was just a blast. We went through Colorado, then we stopped in Moab, saw the Arches, then to the Grand Canyon, then spent a week in Vegas, and then back out and spent a couple more days in Colorado. We saw the motel from The Shining and did the tour there, and just saw a lot of gorgeous country, and it was the highlight of the year. So it was great looking at those pictures again.
That's a great drive.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that World Cup thing all over again this year. The World Cup it's a World Cup year, so.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I got to get looking at it. I didn't organize it that time, but I don't think the person that organized it originally wants to, but we may do it again. And if you guys want in, I can get you guys in.
All right. How about you, Gif?
All right. So 2010, we had 2 young kids. Sam was 4. Turned 5 this year, so he was in preschool, moving into kindergarten. Paul turned 1 this year. The year kicked off kind of interesting. So this was during a time when I was still going over Martin Luther King weekend to Mille Lacs to go ice fishing with a bunch of my college buddies from the Twin Cities. And when I left, the furnace was not working, but it wasn't particularly cold that weekend. But while I was gone, Courtney had a gallbladder attack, and her folks happened to be down in Alabama for a month at the time. So she was kind of
Alabama.
Exactly. And so she was kind of scrambling to try to get to the hospital, find somebody to watch the boys and get all taken care of. So we had some friends that helped us out with that. So that was kind of a crazy little way to start off the year. This was also the year with Sam in kindergarten. He started hockey, so this is my first year of a parent of a youth hockey player. And, of course, with youth hockey, for me, that just ended last year. So I was still curling at this point in league on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, I think it was. So that was a lot of fun. And then also with hockey, this was the year up here in Bemidji that the Sanford Center opened and new home for the Bemidji State Beavers to play hockey in. And we were welcomed into the best hockey conference that is no more. It's the WCHA on the men's side. So we were playing the likes of Wisconsin and Minnesota and Duluth and North Dakota, and it was just awesome to be in a conference with the big boys in a new rink, and it was just a lot of fun at that time. So, and also to start 2010, the Beavers did get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. So, out of one conference and into another. So, those are kind of some of the stuff that we had going on with 2 young kids in the house.
Okay. So I did the same thing as you, Rappy. We have a Shutterfly account, and that's how I can go back and look. And I can it's very, very easy. I love it. You can just go find the year and look through all the pictures. So at first I had like no memories of this year, but then I went through these pictures and like, well, this is a really big year. It was pretty wild. So we had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I looked back and saw the pictures. So Isaac had a Thomas the Train birthday party, and Isla had a Dora birthday party. They also met Thomas the Train that year at the St. Paul depot somewhere. We went down there and they got to ride on one. Sports wise, this was the first year of Target Field. That's like the first thing I remembered.
Oh yeah.
And the Twins were really good that year, but then they lost in the playoffs, which ties into my later part here. But that was really exciting because we've been wanting the outdoor baseball forever.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it hasn't been the same. The dome was actually a lot more fun back then. So this is when I got really active. And so I had been running and I had done some 5Ks. So this is the year I decided I'm going to run a half marathon. So in May, I ran a half marathon in Fargo. But then my wife, this is the year she started her MS team for her best friend who has MS, and they started a bike team that has raised, I forget how much, like tens and probably over hundreds of thousands of dollars by this point, because it still goes on to this day. But so we started by doing this MS ride, which was a bike ride where you biked 150 miles in 2 days. So we take a bus up to Duluth, and you would ride your bike 75 miles, stay overnight, either camping or at a hotel, and then 75 more miles the next day. And I did not enjoy it very much. I did it 3 times. I found out that I do not like to ride a bike very much, but she loves it. So unfortunately, it's kind of a thing there where we didn't quite connect, but she still loves to ride her bike. But I did it, and I was proud that I did it. And then also in like July or August, I did the only time I've ever done this, and I will never do it again. I did a triathlon too. It's a very short triathlon, but I had to swim in a lake, and I had done all this training in the pool, and none of that mattered 1 second when I got into the lake. I completely panicked. I ended up floating on my back the whole time and was going the wrong direction. And I finally got around, and the biking and the running part went okay, but I did not like the swimming, and I would not do that again. But to do all 3 of those in 1 year I would have been, so you said you were 40. This is the year I turned 34.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good. We took a road trip to Missouri with our kids because my aunt and uncle were celebrating their 50th anniversary. And then I think there was another, or maybe it was my uncle's birthday too. There's like 2 things that we were celebrating there. That was really fun. It was very, very hot in Missouri. This was like over the 4th of July. But you got little kids. You can just stay in hotels and go to the pool. So that's always fun. And then 2 more things. So we got back from that trip, went home to Tyler for our Abelskever days. And so we have a big golf tournament that my friends and I played in every year, basically. And, we're pretty good, but we had never won anything of significance. But this year we won that tournament. And it was pretty awesome and very exciting, and very proud of that.
Who was on your team?
Chris and Copel.
Nice.
So Chris has been on our show once.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, then it would have been in October, I went to New York City for the first time, and I almost completely forgot about that. So my wife was in New York City for a class for her. She's a hairstylist, and she was out there in some fancy class learning things. And I went out and met her for the weekend. And it just so, speaking of the Twins, it's kind of how it ties in. Just so happens to be they were playing the Yankees in the playoffs, and they were playing at Yankee Stadium while I was there. And so I really wanted to go, but it didn't work out. And then they had already lost the first 2 games at home. So a lot of the excitement was already kind of died down.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, that night, we went to American Idiot on Broadway, the Green Day play.
Wow.
Which was awesome. And the Twins got beat that night anyway. So it all worked out, and it was great. We saw Patrick Stewart in Central Park. It was really fun. So that's my only visit to New York that I've ever had. And it was in 2010.
I was just in New York this past weekend.
You were?
Yeah. My
Holy
cousin got
cow.
married. Yeah, that's why I was gone Friday and Monday from work.
Huh.
So
Cool.
flew out Friday, came back Sunday, whirlwind trip. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was just like 3 days I was there as well too. But we did so much in that little bit of time. Like I learned how to ride the subway, and we were all over the place. It was so cool. So got to get back there someday.
Excellent.
So big year, little kids, lots of fun. Still got some trips, got some fun stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to our drafts. And do you guys have anything else to add? Any memories pop up that you just thought of, you forgot about?
No, I was pretty much a homebody, just, at home with my 2 young kids, and that was about it.
All right.
The one memory, my second niece was born this year, and she just turned 16 last month. So
there you go.
Yep.
And has her driver's license. So
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to draft in the order of music first, because that was our hardest one this year, followed by TV and movies last to go out with a bang. So, and in the order that was picked, Gifford is picking first in music, followed by Rappy, and I'm last. So let's see what we found. What did we find? Why was it so hard to find music from 2010? Because usually, we just did 2015 not long ago. I had no trouble with that. But man, I struggled with
just
this
depends on your artists and if they have something that came out that year.
That's true, because most of the artists I was thinking of did not put out an album that year. So,
all right, I am going to kick it off with an album. I'm going Doo-Wops and Hooligans by Bruno Mars. Came out October 4th. It's got Just the Way You Are, Grenade, The Lazy Song, among others. Debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. So definitely has some bangers in there. And yeah, most of the stuff that I was listening to was the kids were, listening to some of it, and Courtney was always a little more into, the more popular music of the time too. So I'm a fan of Bruno Mars.
Of my 11, I believe you already took one. I didn't have the whole album, but I had the song Runaway Baby. Is that on that album?
It might be. Let me get the track list in here.
I didn't see it on there when I looked, but then I saw it came out that year. So I don't. Maybe there's a secret here, and I can pick it later if I need to.
It's the fourth track.
Okay. Well, I do really like that song. Actually, I had a Bruno Mars on mine, and now I can't pick it.
Wow, I took one of them.
Yeah. Well, I got 10 more.
Sweet.
All right, Rappy. I hope you don't pick another one of mine. I'll be in trouble right off the bat here.
Well, I'm gonna pick my one of my handful of pop picks. I'm going the Miley Cyrus "Party in the USA," and that has to go with that was our road trip song to Las Vegas. So
perfect.
That seemed to be on every radio, every place we stopped. We just heard it the whole time, and I wasn't sure of it the first time, but then once it just kind of earwormed its way in, and
it's one of those.
Yep.
It's like, I don't remember if you've watched How I Met Your Mother or not, but when they'd be on road trips and they'd be listening to 500 Miles, and they said, it'll come back.
Yep.
Okay. I have my list here, but I'm going to try to pick one that, I'm afraid possibly Gifford might pick this one.
Let's see if it's on there.
I am going to pick Speak Now by Taylor Swift first, just because I feel like you could pick something off of that. I don't know.
Nope, I don't have any Taylor Swift on my list even.
So it's not my number one, but I do actually, we did a Taylor Swift episode, as you may know, on this show. This is one of my, if not favorite albums, and it was the one where I actually first got into her, and my wife and I went to Kansas City to see her in concert during this tour here. So that's my popular pick there. That's the one I'm going to take first.
Okay. All right. I'm going back to another album here. So I am going to go with Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. Came out August 24th. And that has got the singles. Let's see here.
Teenage Dream,
and California Girls, with the U, if you will. So yeah, that was a big one. Liked a lot of the stuff off of that. Let's see what else is on that one. Firework, that's huge.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yep. So
I know that one.
Those three alone. Yeah, I'm gonna take that album.
All right.
So that could have made my list. That was one of my 10.
Really?
Not the album,
to hear that actually.
But the California Girl. But it has to go with the road trip.
Okay.
And until yesterday, when I was doing the research, I thought "Party in the USA" and "California Girls" was the same song.
That sounds more like what I would expect out of you. It doesn't seem like your choice of music there.
No, but yeah. So I learned something yesterday doing research. For my next pick, I'll pick Train, Hey Soul Sister.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, for the same reason, that was another one of the road trip songs. Mm-hmm. And then after this, I'll get away from the road trip. So
okay.
I like that song. Fan of that tune.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick a song that so we recently did my 100 favorite songs, and the top 10 was an episode, which is a biggest numbers episode we've done in a long time. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
And one of the songs I had on there around number, I think it was in the top 20, was The Cave by Mumford & Sons. And I just love that song. And I'm not a huge Mumford & Sons fan. Like, they're okay. I like them. But this one song, which is the first song they had that I knew, I just still love to this day.
Excellent. All right. With my third pick, this came out late in the year, November 29th. This is Rolling in the Deep. Adele hit number 1 on the top 100 and number 1 in 11 countries.
And that's not an album. That's just a song.
That's just the song because the album came out in 2011.
Okay.
My next one, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that has it. I may have been maybe I'm the only people that heard it, but Peter Gabriel came out with a cover of David Bowie's Heroes that year.
Oh.
And I don't even know how, like, I want to describe it as symphonic, but there's vocals to it. It's just real deep piano with strings in the back and just Gabriel kind of just almost lounge singing it. And it, like, I encourage anyone to check it out. It's an amazing cover of Bowie's Heroes.
All right. I love that song. All right. So 2 months ago, we tried to do a more recent year and introduce a new band to some listeners. We did Cage the Elephant. They did not put out an album this year. However, one of the songs I played that night that I love is Shake Me Down, and that did get released in 2010. So I'm taking Shake Me Down by Cage the Elephant.
Excellent. All right. I'm taking one from September 14th. Pumped Up Kicks, Foster the People. Hit number 3 on the Hot 100 and number 1 in 5 countries.
I did have that one down too.
Oh, I took 2? Uh-oh.
Yep. Oh, I'm okay. I'm not worried anymore.
You're good? All right.
My next one is off of Tom Petty's Mojo album, Jefferson Jericho Blues. And it's just a gritty blues song, and it's Tom Petty.
Jefferson Jericho Blues. Okay. I didn't even know Tom Petty had an album that year. All right. The next one I'm going to pick is a band that we are going to talk about this summer, and they were still kicking it here. Now, their lead singer has since unfortunately died, but this is a real hidden gem of a great song by a great band. So if you're a fan of Stone Temple Pilots and you didn't hear anything by them past, the 90s, they had a good album, and there's a song called Between the Lines, and it's freaking awesome. And so it's one of my favorite Stone Temple Pilots songs.
Wow.
Period. Sweet. So that's my number 4.
All right. With my last pick, I am going to give a shout out to my youngest son, Paul, and I'm going to take basically his theme song by DJ Khaled, All I Do Is Win. He pretty much just loves playing that song all the time. That's his pump-up tune. You got T-Pain, Snoop, Ludacris, Rick Ross in there. Came out February 8th.
All right. Did not have that one on my list.
No, I didn't think you would, but want to honor my boy when I was playing, all the tunes. I like to play them while I'm writing stuff down. And he was in his room, and I just had it on in the dining room. And all of a sudden, he comes out of his room with his hands in the air, just, head banging and like, yep, that's my jam. So.
My final one is Pokey Lafarge, the La La Blues.
Wow.
He's kind of a Southern bluesman, and just a very kind of gritty sound, kind of out of Louisiana, New Orleans kind of style.
And what's his name?
Pokey, so Pokey.
Okay.
Lafarge or Laforge. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's Lafarge.
Okay.
And it is the La La Blues.
Got it. See, now we're getting into our own things here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my last one was a pretty popular artist and album, and I'm going to see him in concert this summer for the first time. and that is the album To the Sea by Jack Johnson. And it had he's got a lot of great songs. I love that guy. But the songs At or With Me and You and Your Heart are on this, and they're like two of his most like fun, because a lot of his stuff is really mellow. They are two of his most fun, awesome songs that he's ever had. And kind of was he's put out some stuff since, but this is kind of the last one where I really had the album and knew it.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. We did it.
Yeah, we got through.
Woo!
We didn't snipe. Everybody had enough on their list. I actually did write down 15 things just to be safe.
Well, Rappy, what'd you have left over?
So I didn't have much. I did still have Pink Razor Glass.
Yes.
Again, that would have gone with the road trip, but I thought I was leaning on that too much. And then my other two were albums, and I just picked them because I own these albums. But I look back and I don't think I listened to them too much, but Robert Plant, Band of Joy, and the Black Keys, the Brother album.
Okay. If?
Well, one that I thought we would have together on this, Brad, would be The King of Anything by Sarah Bareilles. Came out May 10th.
Serious? I have no idea what that is.
Oh, I thought you were a Sarah Bareilles fan. Maybe not.
I know of her.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot others that I really want to mention here. But Club Can't Handle Me by Flo Rida was a banger.
I do like Flo Rida.
Heard that one a ton out on my brother-in-law's boat. So that was a fun one. So I'll just leave it at that.
Rappies, it wasn't this year, it was 2 years later, but we went to Vegas late summer, and a big soundtrack was Flo Rida at the time.
Okay.
So I always associate him with the Luxor pools where we were.
Excellent.
All right, I did get my top 5 actually. So I could have just stopped at number 5 there, but the other ones I had were, so I've mentioned this band that I love a lot, Blood Red Shoes. They had an album called Fire Like This. REM's final album did not come out this year. It came out in 2011, but the lead single, It Happened Today, came out in 2010. So I could have picked REM. Mm-hmm. And then I only had 2 others. Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. Although that was kind of a technicality. It was a re-release in the UK. So actually, so I put it on in case I needed it.
Yep. That's a great song.
The song Animal, and I do love that song. And the song Animal by Neon Trees. That's a pretty good song, I guess, too.
I actually wrote that one down, too.
Well, there we had another one.
We had another one.
All right. Moving on to TV, and Rappy is first. So where are you going with this one?
So this one was a fun list. It was amazing what was out that year.
Yeah.
And this is the one I was really worried that would be sniped by people, but I got to go with Community. For me, that was must-see TV. On my DVR, it was always, made sure I'd get it. I don't know if I watched it Thursday night, but I was always watching it soon after it was on TV.
All right. I was watching it too. I have number 1, I got to take Lost. This is the year Lost ended. So you're spending the entire winter and spring just on every episode, like what's going to happen? How's this thing going to end? And I love the show. So I can't pick a different one, number 1.
Yeah, I was off it by that point.
Well, I know you were.
Yeah, so not high on my list. I think I'm gonna go ahead and, oh man, yeah, because it was such a big phenomenon. It was the first 2 seasons, end of 1, beginning of 2. We're gonna talk about it later this month, and that is Modern Family.
Yeah, that's one of our picks for the month.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah. And it was so huge. I just loved it so much.
My next one on the list that was just a must, and it was always on my DVR, was Mad Men.
Okay. That is one that I never have watched.
I started it not while it was on. It was, years later, so I think it was Netflix, and I was kind of binging it, but kind of fell out of it again, too. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah. And it's one of those
January Jones.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch it again and just see if it holds up or not. And then part of me is like, no, I don't want to see if it holds up or not. I enjoyed it when it was actually on. So
right, there you go.
It's one I always knew I probably would like. It's just one of those ones I never got around to.
And there was so much going on; it was hard. You had to pick.
Yeah, because you're watching stuff on TV and like using the DVR, like you said, all the time. But then I was also getting Netflix discs, and so
Yeah,
that's how we would binge and stream TV shows. It was but you had to get it on the disc, and then you'd watch them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my next pick is going to be another obvious pick for me. We did this show a few years ago, and it's How I Met Your Mother. We're right in the prime of How I Met Your Mother here. I just can't get enough of that show, and I love it. That's my second pick.
Excellent. All right. I think I'm going to go with seasons 3 and 4 of Big Bang.
I was watching that too.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I'm picking, and if it wasn't for the DVR, I wouldn't have even seen this because it was on sporadically, and it just happened to be on. And so to be able to record it electronically was great. Was Poker After Dark on NBC. So that was always on between like 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And I was either coming home drunk and able to catch a little bit of it, or my DVR was picking up and I'd watch it the next day. But it was never consistent. It was always kind of one of those little sneaky surprises, like, oh, there's an episode, great. And I always considered that show as tuition, like classes for poker. Like I really felt I learned a lot on how to play poker from that one, than a lot of the other poker shows.
Did you watch that too, Gifford? It sounds
I
like
did.
maybe.
I actually, you say that, and I was watching a lot of poker at this time because this WPT was on, and you could watch World Series whenever that came around on ESPN. So yeah, those I really enjoyed watching a lot of that stuff. So that sprung a memory for me.
All right, my next one's another obvious one for me, and so far everything I picked we have a great episode on, including this one, and that was Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
and this was pretty early. I forgot if it was season
end of season 2.
Okay, so not season 1 though. But I loved season 2. Season 1's the one you can kind of skip over, but season 2 is great. It's before you bring in, although right at the very end they bring in Adam Scott and Rob Lowe. But I love Mark Brandanowitz, and the show was rounding into form big time in season 2, and it's just an all-time classic.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a show that had its second season, and then it went off the air, and I loved this show. I've rewatched it when I found it on streaming services. Just 2 seasons.
Oh, I know what you're picking.
Better Off Ted.
Yep, Better Off Ted. I knew it.
Was such a fun show, and I can't believe it was let go.
And shameful it was let go. That show was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely great. Portia de Rossi was hilarious. I mean, the 2 scientist guys were just awesome. The main character guy, I can't remember his name. He was great. Like, God, it was just quirky. A lot of fun. Sad to see it go.
That was going to be my next pick. So
hey.
I thought I could save it because it was kind of big, like you said, it was just kind of an unknown. So, but for my next pick, I have to pick CSI Las Vegas. More so my dad was a nuclear chemist, and he spent time working in crime labs. So he was in a crime lab in Kansas and a crime lab in Ohio. So doing the CSI kind of stuff. And I remember when the show came on, and so this was years later. We live in Minnesota at this time, and he was working for 3M. But I asked him, it's like, so you used to work CSI stuff. How do you like the show? He's like, Brian, I can't stand that show. I'm like, is it the science that bad? He's like, no, the science is amazing. They got that all right. They definitely have good consultants. That stuff is all accurate. What I can't get past is nobody that's sexy will ever work for the government, and I just can't buy that they're doing what they do.
Who was the main?
It was he was in the original Manhunter for
William
Peterson.
Yes,
William Peterson.
And Fear, our favorite movie, Fear.
And he throws a guy through a window very hard.
The comment.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. I didn't watch that religiously, but I remember watching that more so on syndication, I think, at the time. So I would watch, I don't know what seasons I was watching at the time, but yeah, I mean, that was a fun show.
Yeah, and for me, whenever I see it, I just think of my dad now, just good
Yeah.
memories. So,
All right. Well, I am not going too far into the weeds on any of my picks here. I'm picking The Office next. I had to look it up
Yep.
and make sure.
Yep.
I was thinking maybe this was towards the end when, it got to be pretty stupid, but it wasn't. This is a couple years kind of right in the middle. So I was definitely still watching this and loving it, along with Parks and Rec double feature, on Thursday nights. So,
Yep.
The Office.
All right. Well, I didn't watch the first season of this, but I binged it online and then was ready for season 2, which started in 2010. Huge phenomenon in the country. Little show on Fox called Glee. I loved that show when it was early on. Got in it late. Didn't watch the first season until that summer, but I enjoyed it. Thought it was great.
It was big.
all right. So my final one is kind of the same thing. I think it was only on for a season, and I don't I think I may have been the only one watching it, but was Todd in the Book of Pure Evil, and it was kind of like an anti-Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where it's high school kids, they're kind of dropouts, nerds, and they find a book of evil that releases all these spells, and every week is they have to go shut down another spell, save the world.
Sure. Was that CW?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or WB or one of those.
WB, yeah, one of those two, yep.
And again, if it wasn't for my DVR, I wouldn't, it happened to be programmed in, and that's the only reason I saw it, because I wasn't searching it out to find it. So
sure.
Yeah, I have never heard of that one. I'm looking at it right now, and it was all 2010. 2 seasons.
Okay.
2010 and then 2011. All right, my last pick. I wasn't watching it this year. I discovered it a couple years later on the Netflix discs through a friend, actually our friend Kevin from work, Rappy. And we watched this together at lunch at school, and I don't think I've ever laughed harder in my life. And I brought it up many times on this show before. It's The In-Betweeners from England, about the 3 high school. It's so funny. It's so raunchy, it's so dirty, and it is so funny.
I watched that specifically because of your recommendation, Brad.
And I will recommend it all the time.
Yeah.
As long as you can, know what you're getting into.
Right. Yeah. It's goofy and raunchy, and but it's fun. All right. I usually don't do this, but there's a massive show left on the board here. I wasn't watching it at the time, but oh my God. Rewatched it a few times. I think it's possibly one of the top 5 all-time greatest shows.
You picking Breaking Bad?
I'm taking the season 3 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, actually, if I wanted to win the vote, I probably should have thrown that one in at the end.
We
watched it. We all watched it later. I don't know. Rappy, were you watching that back then?
Yes. Yeah. I was into that one also.
What else you got?
I had Justified, Boardwalk Empire, Walking Dead, Spartacus, Eureka, Caprica, which was the prequel to Battlestar Galactica. And I think I was just watching that because I like Battlestar Galactica so much.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Exactly. HBO came out with the Pacific, and that was the Band of the Brothers, but in Japan, which was amazing TV. Like, it was shocking, but I watched it once. I don't know if I could ever watch it again. It was just so heartbreaking, and just, the wages of war.
Yep.
I had a couple really good ones here that I watched every week that I didn't get to pick yet, but the show Chuck was in like its 3rd season or so. I was a big fan of that show. And then my wife and I thought Cougar Town was awesome. So it's Bill Lawrence, Scrubs, and I have Scrubs on here too, but it was like that last season, so it's at the bottom of my list.
That was a tough season.
Cougar Town, I didn't think it was that old. I thought it was like at least probably 3 or 4 years after this. I had to double check, but this is when it was, and we loved it. 30 Rock I watched every week too. This is a pretty great time for NBC because you kind of had the whole must-see thing again. You had Community, Parks and Rec, The Office, and 30 Rock. I mean, there haven't been too many lineups like that on network TV. SNL was great. You had a lot of that great cast around still with Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader. I think they were still on, and plus you're bringing in some newer ones too. Gifford, I know you got me into The League. That was on at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting Curb Your Enthusiasm and Entourage on Netflix discs, and South Park is still on. It was on.
Yep.
That's all the ones I had that haven't been named.
I just got a couple more here. I was definitely watching Dancing with the Stars still with Courtney. Seasons 10 and 11. Nicole Scherzinger won, and Jennifer Grey. Those were our champions from those two seasons. I enjoyed watching Wipeout. This was season 3 of Wipeout. Just goofy, game show type thing. And then I was watching a lot of Fox Sports North with Gophers and Wild Hockey. Twins were on, of course. So that's kind of what I was sitting down and watching.
Okay. All right. Well, now we will shift to movies, and I have made the claim that this was a great year for movies, so we'll find out what there was. So I remember, I don't know if this was the first year they did it, but it was right around here where they started picking 10 Best Picture nominees again. Well, yeah, because the Dark Knight came out like 2 years before this, and everybody had a freak out that it didn't get nominated. And so then they expanded it to 10 to get more movies in there. And so my wife and I got into a phase here where we saw every one of these movies that was up for Best Picture. And we went to a couple double features in the movie theater. So there were so many great movies, and there's a lot of other ones too. But I'm going to pick the movie that I think should have won Best Picture, my favorite of the whole year. And that is the Oscar-winning Best Supporting Actor by Christian Bale, Mark Wahlberg in The Fighter. That movie freaking is awesome. And I don't think it gets mentioned enough with some of the great, especially like boxing and sports movies, because it is amazing.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm going to go with one. I believe this one was nominated for something or another. But I've watched it. I don't know how many times. I think it's such a fascinating story, the birth of Facebook. I'm going with The Social Network.
Oh, yes, it sure was nominated.
What was it up for?
And Best Picture.
Oh, was it?
And I think it won screenplay because it was.
Oh, it won. Yeah, it was nominated for 3 or something.
That was probably my second favorite movie of the year, especially as far as like the Best Picture nominees.
So with my first pick, I got to go with the Coen Brothers and True Grit. So
that was another one up for Best Picture that we saw.
Matt Damon, the dude, as a cowboy, it was fantastic.
So I remember we went to a double feature that night. We saw Black Swan and then True Grit, two name titles back to back that night.
I've never watched The Black Swan.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I've heard it's amazing. And as Rosen once said, Daddy's enjoying this. So.
All right. My number 2 is going to be complete opposite of The Fighter. This was not an award-winning movie, although I think it's one of the funniest movies. I just watched it last night because we're going to talk about several movies this month, and this is one of them. And if you haven't seen the movie She's Out of My League, that is a under-the-radar classic comedy. And I'll tell you what, it was just as funny, and it holds up. And that was one, great. We'll talk more about it, I guess. But my wife and I went to it. I don't think we knew what to expect or why we picked it. But we just had a ball that night, and we love that movie.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to take a movie we're also going to talk about.
Okay.
And this possibly the same episode.
Oh, okay. Then I know what you're picking.
I'm going with The Other Guys. I think, again, Farrell and Wahlberg, just amazing. And Ava Mendes is it. I mean, it's so great. And National Treasure, Michael Keaton. I mean, it's don't
I watched
go
that last night, too. I had enough time to watch them back to back, and so I've got it ready to go. So that's going to be our episode next week, is we're going to compare and talk about both She's Out of My League and The Other Guys, and we'll tell you why we paired them up when we get there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just doing a classic double feature.
Yeah. Well, kind of, but there was a reason why we paired them together.
Excellent. So The Other Guys was going to be my next pick, so nicely done. So I will have to go with let's go with Machete. So
Oh.
I just found that as with all the high art and everything going on that year, it was a nice palate cleanser for just action movie.
Yeah. And Trejo's always great, right?
yeah,
Like, I mean, yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick another movie that we're going to talk about later this month.
Okay.
And this one is actually animated, but this is another one where we went, and again, we'll talk about it, but we went to the 3D version, and my son had never been to one, and it was such a cool movie to see in 3D, and we're sitting there like, okay, this is a movie for kids, but laughing out loud nonstop, and that is Despicable Me. That movie is awesome.
Dang it. Okay. Yeah, love that one. All right, I'm going to go into the MCU here. I'm taking Iron Man 2. I've watched that one over and over. I love it. We got Don Cheadle coming in. Sam Rockwell, he can do no wrong, and
He does no wrong.
He has a couple scenes in this movie where he just I love it, absolutely love it. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this version of Iron Man. The whole storytelling of it, I thought it was great. So yeah, seen it a million times.
Can we go off track here for like 1 minute? So speaking of doing no wrong, Ryan Gosling is another guy for me that does that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious, Rappy, have you seen Project Hail Mary?
I have read the book.
I'm reading it right now.
Oh, a fantastic book.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I just haven't had time.
Okay, so I saw it last week, and it's great. If you like the book, I mean, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I thought you might have seen it. It's really good. He's amazing, and so I just wanted to.
I think it came out the Friday of our spring break, and it just didn't work into my schedule to get it then, and I've just been slammed since. So
yeah,
maybe Sunday I'm going to be able to catch it because I do want to see it in the theater. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you're going to want to see it in the theater.
So, or maybe I'll just if we have an easy day of school, maybe I'll see a 3:00 showing or something.
Perfect.
So I think for my next one, I want to take The Expendables.
Okay.
Just throwing all the 80s action stars together was the best. So it just brought back a lot of memories, and just seeing them all back on the big screen was fantastic.
How many of those are there? Is there 3?
I thought there was 5.
Oh
yeah,
my
I feel
God,
like there's
really?
a lot. But this was the first one.
Yeah. And there may be 3 in the movie theaters. There may be 5 straight, total.
Well, the 4th one came out in 23. Okay.
And did they ever make the all-female one, or were I thinking of the Ocean ones?
Oh, that's the Ocean's 8.
Okay.
They made that.
Yep. And then there's a Ghostbusters, too, that they made with the all-female cast. Yep.
All right. I feel like I need to get my list a little bit serious again here.
Oh.
So I'm going to take a movie. I only have seen this once, but I want to watch it again. I know it was really, really good, and that's The Town, Ben Affleck. So kind of picking it to remind myself to rewatch it someday, because I know that I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yep.
That was going to be my next pick.
Well, there we go.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go with a fun movie. I thought it was hilarious. Easy A.
That was one of the next ones on mine, too.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a great showcase for Emma Stone, too. Like, this is where you really saw what I think she could do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, for my next pick, I apologize to the Pop Culture Yearbook. I'm probably going to get the auditors on us, and this probably won't count as a pick. But I felt just in honor of the year, I need to pick the movie 2010, the sequel to 2001.
Oh, okay.
Even though I think it was made in 1987. But it just seemed fitting for this episode. I would have recommended watching the movie. It wasn't that great, but it just seemed fitting for the time. And I apologize if the auditors come down on you, and I will pay for any punishment you guys get. So just
you're the guest, so you can do what you want. Although I wonder why you didn't save it for the last pick instead of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he's got something else cooked up for the last.
It's
maybe.
a wild card move.
Yep.
All right. Well, I got to go back to comedies. This is a guy we talked about in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he's kind of an idiot now. But Jonah Hill's in it too, and who I love, Rose Byrne, is just fantastic in this movie, playing Stacy or something Q, and it is Get Him to the Greek, kind of the spiritual sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall, because Jonah Hill is now like helping represent and work with whatever Russell Brand's name was. He's still the same character.
Aldous
Snow, is that right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But Rose Byrne, for me, steals the show here in her part. She's amazing. And the movie is actually really funny. I liked it a lot.
Sweet. All right, for my last pick, one of my all-time favorite movie. What am I trying to say here? Not trilogy. Oh my god. Series, good God, yes. Came out with another installment. This is Predators. So Danny Trejo in here again. Two Trejo picks in 2010, where they head to an alien planet, and they are the bunch of murderers and badasses that get hunted. So I love it.
All right, last pick of the night.
All right. I am picking The Losers, another comic book movie I think it was from Dark Horse Comics, and it's a bunch of mercenaries that are just losers, and they get a bad job, and they have to work their way out of it. And it's kind of like a buddy military movie. It's just a lot of fun. And I'm blanking on all the stars. I think Idris Elba is the bad guy in it, and was
Zoe Saldana, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans.
Yeah. So it's stacked, and it's just a fun movie.
Yep.
Okay, well, what do you have else on your list, Rappy?
I have Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have Red, which is Retired and Extremely Dangerous, and that was
awesome.
John Malkovich,
Helen Mirren,
Bruce Willis, and Morgan Freeman.
Yep. So much
I never
fun.
watched it, and I never knew that's what it stood for either. But I thought it looked like a good movie.
Yeah, it's a fun
so much fun.
And I like that one and Losers were just kind of practically the same movie, so I couldn't figure out which one to pick. And then I had. And this is an honorable mention more because it's directed by Kevin Smith, but Cop Out came out that year. Not a great movie, but it's a Kevin Smith joint, so I just have to shout it out a bit. And
is that Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, okay.
And
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, and it really I saw Kevin Smith live once, and a big chunk of the show was talking about that and just how tough it was to work with Bruce Willis, and how, as a director, he was so starstruck. He just could not communicate with them well.
Gifford, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Or were you done?
Yep, that was it.
Okay.
I got a couple DiCaprio vehicles here, Shutter Island and Inception.
Yeah, those are big ones you'd think, but apparently you guys weren't. I mean, I have no idea what Inception was about, and Shutter Island was good, but like I don't know. They don't stand out to me like a lot of the other DiCaprio or Christopher Nolan movies do, and apparently they didn't to you either.
Well, I mean, I've seen them, and I liked them, got them on my list, but
they're good.
They would have been useful. I enjoyed the A-Team movie. That was a lot of fun. Kick-Ass was a fun movie. And then the last one I'll mention here, went to this in the theater on Sam's 5th birthday, How to Train Your Dragon. And of course he got scared, so he had to sit in Dad's lap the whole time. But that's just such a fun movie, and of course we got a lot of kids stuff.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. That one was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, speaking of kids movies, I mentioned Despicable Me, but Toy Story 3 was a great Toy Story movie. Everybody went to that, and you would cry at the end of that one. And then Tangled and Shrek Forever After, pretty decent movies as well. Another movie that we are going to have a very interesting comparison. We're gonna talk about MacGruber this month while talking about Despicable Me. So if that doesn't whet your appetite, I don't know.
Right?
Another one of the movies that was up for Best Picture that I went to, I think on a double feature, was 127 Hours, where James Franco played the guy that got his arm caught, and he had to cut it off himself. That was pretty good.
That was one I saw once.
I mentioned Black Swan. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out. So not the very last movie, but the second to last. Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey. Pretty minor movie, but a pretty good movie with Michael Cera, Youth and Revolt. I don't know if either of you ever saw that movie, but actually my friends and I went to that movie theater. And I got a couple more, but I'll stop there.
All right. Well, a lot of great stuff. I mean, I like the movies are always the easiest thing to research, right? You just go down the list of movies that were released, but that's the one where you always have a lot of people taking your picks, right? Like it seems like we match up a lot more. With
But
everybody.
to kind of prove my point of what a great year of movies it was, we picked 15 movies and nobody picked Inception or Shutter Island. I mean, and those were, a lot of people would have those at the top of their list probably.
Well, and nobody even mentioned the Oscar winner, The King's Speech, which was a very, very, very good film.
Yes, I saw that one too, of course, and I did like it a lot, especially since I had a son who had a lot of speaking problems.
Sure.
It was hit home there and made it even better.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rappy, for coming on with us and gracing us with your presence again. And
always a good
us
time.
Your picks. Yes, always nice to have you on. Good to see you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the invite. I love being here, and you guys brought back a lot of memories for me, and I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I'm all good.
Hey, just checking. You're the guest. I want to give you a chance just in case.
I appreciate it. I'd make sure you're registered to vote, spayed and neuter your cats.
There we go. All right.
Yep. Excellent.
Well done.
Yeah. Well, and so next week, Brad mentioned we're going to be doing kind of a double feature between She's Out of My League versus, or not really versus, but with the other guys.
Comparing.
So that'll be a lot of fun. So please be sure to check that out. Yeah. So
it will be, because like I said, I watched them both last night back to back. I had time, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it should be good. Say, hey, Rappy.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know which band likes to do a lot of things after dark, including poker?
I think I may have played against them once. I'm guessing Preacher Row.
That is correct. Yes. Very well done. As an 8-time guest, we knew he'd know that one.
I'm catching on.
Yes.
Little Preacher Row after dark here. All right. It's a newer year, but it's going to be a fun year, so don't miss out.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming for you. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.